Nate, we went from a 3D platformer to a side-scrolling platformer.
And it's great.
All right, Nate, you and I jumped into Platonic Games' newest title, Yooka Laylee, The Impossible Lair, because, man, that impossible lair is impossible.
Yes.
What'd you think?
So, man, I definitely was caught off guard. I didn't really look too much into this game before we got it.
Sure.
And I love the first one we reviewed years ago on our old YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah.
So, getting into this, I was kind of expecting this 3D platformer, and no. Instead, we get this great kind of Donkey Kong classic feel. Like it,
yeah.
And it hit right home for me.
It was awesome. I was really surprised and pleased on the decision to go 2D side-scrolling platformer versus that 3D experience. We jumped into the original, that 3D one, and it was pretty good, but it still wasn't...
Had a little bit of issues.
It did have some issues, right? So we weren't too keen on it exactly, but I was curious to see how it would be coming over, especially on the Switch, moving forward with the newest game, Impossible Lair, and it really, man, it shines on the Switch. The game is absolutely stunning. The gameplay, the platform mechanic, this is through and through that Donkey Kong experience that I've been waiting for from a different game, right? You go into Donkey Kong and you expect a Donkey Kong experience. You get that tropical freeze. You know how to do that. But then when Impossible Lair kicks in, dude, this game is fantastic.
Man, it's funny because it's got all these characters that, you know, everything, like with their funny voices. One thing I noticed is that we complained about the voices because, my goodness, it was just never-ending reamers.
Yeah.
But in this, they just do a little reamer and then
it's done.
So I think they listened.
Yeah, they must have caught it. Yeah. I'm glad though that it is much shorter this time than this whole murmur the entire time. Yeah. But I can't get over it.
It kind of hits home for me. It's that old school kind of feel.
Yeah,
and it's a little bit comical with some of the voices or whatever you want to call them.
Absolutely.
Sounds.
The sound effects, the audio though within the game.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Shines. This thing is incredible. I'm just sitting there, I'm playing, and I went from handheld, and I don't do this very often, but I took it from handheld, and I thought, man, this game looks incredible in handheld mode, and it sounds great. What does it sound on my TV? Popped in the TV. Wow, man, like it is.
Oh man, honestly,
it's amazing.
If you've ever played Rayman Legends, it's basically one of those iconic side scrollers, and it, to me, is like that. It has that same kind of feel, and just made me awestruck playing this.
It's fantastic.
So within each map, it's pretty, it's fairly similar to most of them. You collect coins.
Yeah.
There are feathers to collect, and there's all sorts of different colored feathers that, give you more feathers. Or quills. I keep calling them feathers.
Yeah, because they look like feathers, but they are quills. Yeah, I know, definitely. And then you, in order to unlock different areas, you have to find coins. And once you collect enough coins, you're then able to unlock, because you're fenced by, who's your snake little... Trousers, yeah, that guy is like, you little bugger. But eventually you get enough coins by beating the levels, and the whole purpose behind the game is that the Bee Kingdom has been taken over and anything, and you gotta buy, the characters themselves are great, but I don't stick with the names from them for some reason.
Yeah.
So it's that I lose that little connection for some reason. I don't know why, to be honest, because everything else about the game is incredible. I've really enjoyed my time with the game. The platforming is great, the audio is great, the visuals are great. Like, everything about this is meant for me in the portable handheld mode on the Switch.
Yeah, man, that's where I found myself playing this game. A lot of the time was handheld, and zero jank, zero issues. Another thing I kind of want to touch up on is this game's only about $37 Canadian on the Nintendo eStore. Hands down, worth every penny of that.
Oh, clearly, yeah. But let's get back to the story, because you need to go out and collect these bees that kind of give you this mini shield.
The Bee-talion, they call them.
Yeah, but it's a shield. The more bees you collect, the more bees that will help kind of swirl around you to protect you when you go to the Impossible Lair, which is like this dungeon of doom.
It's the end game, and it's kind of cool. They give you the option actually to attempt it from the beginning, attempt is the word, because you're not gonna beat it unless I'd like to see some crazy YouTube videos of someone who hasn't unlocked it and they complete it, but good luck.
But there's so many collectibles within the game and so many hidden secrets too.
That's the whole thing about the maps are so perfectly designed. I'm always catching myself finding another hidden little entrance, and then I find this kind of cool little thing. It's, you know, more quills to be had. There's another cool thing is there's a kind of an upgrading system. I don't want to say that too much.
Mini,
right?
Yeah.
So you're allowed to have up to like 3 perks.
Yep.
So it's just like a nice little added feature. It doesn't feel forced.
No.
You know, like some things like when they try to add stuff like that into games, but definitely it felt that it was fitting.
Yeah, it was very fitting. I like some of the abilities that you gain. You get the enemies can have like googly eyes, or they can be tougher, so you need an extra hit. But then you're rewarded with more coins or quills in the end, right? So it's got this risk reward kind of thing by adding certain perks. And then the story itself is comical. I think the writing is really well done.
It is.
I still can't get the voices out of my head.
I know, but at least, like I said, it's just like remember. Not never ending until you read the text.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Nate, I think one of the coolest parts is that they have this ability then to go back to the world you've just completed and do the level again, but in a different sense of it. Because I was in this water world, and then I completed it, and then it presented me with the option to then freeze the water and allow me to go back in and reach other places that I wasn't able to attain when I was in it the first time. So they've given you not this. Overall, they give you this huge map to go and explore, but then they give you the ability then to go back and reach other areas too. I thought it was so well crafted and well designed.
It just polished is this game through and through, in my opinion, man.
Absolutely. So if you're gonna score Playtonic Games newest title,
oh man, it's just an easy one. I enjoyed every moment of this game.
Yeah.
I really like this kind of side scroller. Bring me back to one of my first favorite platformers, Donkey Kong.
Sure.
Man, 9 out of 10.
You know what? I'm not that far off either. Yooka Laylee, the Impossible Lair for me, is so well polished. I'm there with a 9.5.
Yooka and Laylee come back with a lighthearted story, but not so easy of a game. This side-scrolling platformer really shines with outstanding audio and visuals and brings life to a fun world. The maps being designed intuitively really reflect on how polished of a game we have here. This game fits perfectly to the Nintendo Switch family.
Subscribe to never miss a video and help us by hitting that like button.